This morning, we're visiting with Richard Sturban of the Oak Ridge Boys. And Richard, first off, congratulations on being inducted into the Grand Ole Opry on August 6th.
Well, thank you very much. When I think back over our career and all the great things that have happened to us, being inducted as members of the Grand Ole Opry comes right at the top of that list. It was a tremendous honor. It's something that affected me more than I ever thought it would. And I think all four of us would tell you the same thing. It's something that has affected all four of us very, very deeply. And I think we're honored, we're humbled by it. And when you think about the history of the Grand Ole Opry, and you think about all the people that have gone before us, for us to now be able to say that we are a part of that great family, it's a very humbling thing. And now when people introduce us as stars of the Grand Ole Opry, it has just a great ring to it, and we love the way that sounds.
Richard, who invited you to become a member of the Grand Ole Opry?
Well, the way it happened was a great thing. Back in July, we were performing on the Opry, doing what we assumed was just a normal, regular Opry appearance. We were scheduled to do two songs, and one of them was the Y'all Come Back Saloon. Then we were going to go into Elvira, because this is the 30th anniversary of Elvira. After we did our first song, after we finished doing Y'all Come Back Saloon, we noticed there was a big commotion in the audience. And we turned around and looked, and here little Jimmy Dickens came walking out on stage, dressed like William Lee Golden. It was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. We weren't sure if he was playing a joke on us or the Opry was playing a joke on us. But anyway, he had the long gray beard on, the dark sunglasses, and he came out there, and we went over to him, and one of us, I think Joe, said, "Jimmy, you look like you could be the fifth Oak Ridge Boy tonight." He said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'm about to become part of the Oak Ridge Boys, because the Oak Ridge Boys are about to become a part of our family here. On August the 6th, you guys will become the newest members of the Grand Ole Opry." We were totally surprised, and we were awestruck. I mean, we were just like taken back completely. And it's one of the greatest things I think that has ever happened to us.
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations on a brand new CD. It's Only Natural, where you can pick it up through the Cracker Barrel Old Country Store. Richard, how did that all come about?
Well, that's another thing. We're living in very exciting days right now with this new induction into the Grand Ole Opry, and then this release of the new Cracker Barrel project coming right on the heels of that. We're living in very exciting days right now, and I think the main reasons it happened was because they did a survey. Cracker Barrel restaurants did a survey among their customers a while back, and we came out right at the top of that list. When their customers were surveyed as to who they would like to hear in their records as part of their music program, we tested very, very highly in their surveys, the way they put it. So they gave us the opportunity to record a project on Cracker Barrel, and the end result is being released today as we speak. It's called It's Only Natural, and it's available in over 600 Cracker Barrel restaurants and Old Country stores all around the country. In this day and age, it's very difficult to be able to go into a record store and physically buy a product, because they are pretty much non-existent anymore. Cracker Barrel is a company that has filled that niche, and not only do they strive to be a great restaurant, and they are a great restaurant, but music is a big part of what they do, and they have been great for country music. They have really helped the country music industry tremendously, and now, in particular, they are helping the Oak Ridge Boys by allowing us to do this new project.
With the 30th anniversary of Elvira, is it on the new CD, and what else can we expect on the new CD?
Absolutely, Elvira will be on the new CD. It is on the new CD, and Cracker Barrel requested that Elvira be on the new CD. And especially with this being the 30th anniversary of Elvira this year, what we did, we called our longtime friend and producer, Ron Chansey. We actually talked him into coming out of retirement to produce the new version of Elvira, and it turned out very, very well. We were very particular, and Ron Chansey was very particular to stay true to Elvira, even though it was a new version, and not mess with it too much. We still wanted it to sound like Elvira. And so we sing Elvira just exactly like we've been singing it for the last 30 years. The only thing is it's just been given just a little bit of a facelift. The music track was freshened up just a little bit to sound a little more contemporary, but all the hit licks are still there that you would expect to hear in Elvira. And it sounds almost more like a live version of Elvira, and it sounded very exciting. And along with Elvira were 6 other familiar titles. Cracker Barrel wanted some familiar songs on this new project, so there are a lot of hits that Oak Ridge Boys fans will recognize. But yet they also allowed us to do some new music as well. And the new music puts new life and new energy into the Oak Ridge Boys. And so we're excited about the new music. I think one of the reasons we've been able to experience longevity in the music business is because periodically we have been able to go into the recording studio and kind of reinvent ourselves a little bit musically. And Cracker Barrel gave us that opportunity here as well. So we're excited about the new project. Familiar titles that you would expect to hear from the Oak Ridge Boys, yet some new music as well. So there's a nice balance there and a nice happy medium.
Richard, I have to ask you, you went and got the same producer. You're recording the same huge hit. Now, did you use the same recording studio?
That is a good question. We did not. We recorded the tracks downtown at a place called the Tracking Room, and we did all of our vocals right here in Hendersonville. A former keyboard player of the Oak Ridge Boys, Ron Fairchild, played keyboard for the Oak Ridge Boys for about 30 years. He left the group a couple years ago and opened and bought his own recording studio, opened his own recording studio. He's doing some great things in there, and we were able to, instead of having to drive downtown Nashville to do our voices, we were able to do it right here close by home, right here in Hendersonville.
Let's talk about a song that Joe wrote, Sacrifice for Me, which is dedicated to America's heroes. Tell us about that.
Well, as I said, there is some new music on this Cracker Barrel project, and there are 5 new songs, and one of the 5 new songs is this song called Sacrifice for Me that was written by Joe, and it's really a highlight of the album. We are fortunate enough to live in this great country, of the United States of America, which is very much a free country, but this song reminds us that freedom is not free. There's a price to be paid for freedom. And Joe has a way with words. He really does, and he describes that so wonderfully well in this song. And you get a new appreciation for the freedom that we experience in this country when you listen to this song, Sacrifice for Me.
Richard, I want to thank you so much this morning for taking a little time out of your day to spend with us.
Well, thank you so much. It's been my pleasure talking with you.
Richard Sturban of the Oak Ridge Boys, right here on KLMJ.